give you all a few minutes. Hopefully I'm live because I did say go live. And if people don't start showing up, because I did not announce my time. Come on, go away. No, that's not it. Excuse me. Me and my nose. Um, yeah, I've got somebody here. Hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes and then I'll start talking about things. Yes, I'm looking at my tablet to watch comments and whatnot. Oh, why am I doing this? Hey, Lily. Oh, that's right, Lily. Today's live. Hey, Rebecca. Today's live is basically all about my cruise and how much fun I had and some of the products that I bought and came home with. And my trip was awesome. I mean, it was at first, the first day to sea after we left the port in New York was a little getting used to. Nobody got seasick, thankfully, because this was my first cruise, and I enjoyed it. Shirley, how you doing? So I'm gonna wait until well, I've got 27 people, so I'll start my spiel. My spiel. As you guys know, that we went on a cruise about 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, somewhere around there. Jerry Ann and I drove to New York, and the drive was nice. We drove 8 hours, stayed the night in Cambridge, Ohio, and then finished our drive into New York. And we had about, I said, 2 days, maybe less, maybe only a day, to basically unwind, relax, sleep the night at my sister in law's, which was great. And we had everything basically that we needed, and probably then some. I don't think we wore all the clothes we brung, but we brung certain kinds of clothes just to have them with us, just in case we go to the captain's dinner or anything like that. But no, we didn't go to that. Um, Excuse me, I'm nibbling on a Kinder Eye, or as we call them here in America, just Kinder Egg. That was a giant one. I got it on ship. It had a little kangaroo in it, which little kangaroo. But we had good times. I mean, it was 2 days going to Bermuda, so it was two basically nights, 2 days out to sea. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad I wasn't going to go to the pool or anything like that, because it was rain, 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 and more rain. And the night before we hit port in Bermuda, it stopped raining. And then by afternoon time, while we were in Bermuda, it started to rain again. So the first day in Bermuda out of the 2.5 days, we didn't leave the boat, which was fine for me because I mean there was so many different things that happening on the boat, so much to see, so much to do. They had my sister-in-law and Jerry Ann went to watch Footloose on the boat, and then hi Amy, and then the night before we left port, we went to watch a semi-cirque du Soleil show called Elements, and it was wonderful. Elements was, oh man, it was great. But between so many different food decisions that were basically part of my sister-in-law's package that we all basically enjoyed. Um, we did have one night that we had to pay, basically my sister-in-law paid out of pocket, um, and it was a bistro. I can't remember if it was an Italian bistro or a French bistro, but it was some good food. Um, I think 5 out of the 7 days we were on the boat, I had shrimp um, fettuccine with mushrooms because that was like one of my favorite dishes. Of course, one night when we ate out, we we got dessert, and well, the one place that we ate, I saw the dessert menu and I went, yeah, I'm gonna take that for dessert. Tiramisu. I had that one night, and then I had that at the bistro that we went to, and I tell you what, the food is to die for. I mean, you are basically, it is your choice what time you get up. There's no checkout until we reach port, especially when we got to New York. So it was basically, they had an all-you-can-eat buffet. They had the various different venue restaurants. They had specialty restaurants. The specialty restaurants you had to pay for, but your everyday, like, there was one called Savory. We never went to Taste. There was another one, I can't remember the name of it. I think it was just called the Lounge or something like that. That was free. Um, we went to two paid venues, which was the Bistro and I think the Manhattan. But I don't remember if the Manhattan was free or not. So forgive me if I'm speaking out of term. Jerry would be able to tell you better than I could, because my memory is just like, I don't want to get off the boat. I really did not want to get off the boat, but it was good times. Um, Jerry bought a few things. I bought the Kinder Egg, because all the other things I looked at that I was like, I wouldn't mind that. Was like way over budget. The one thing that I got to do that was way over, but well, it wasn't over budget. It was within our budget. I got to get a collagen facial, which was basically they had oils and whatnot that they put on my face, and then they wrapped my face with a warm towel, and then they took it off and cleansed my face and put another warm towel on, and then took that towel off and put on another treatment around my eyes, especially, and then once he once the person was done with that part, they put the things underneath my eyes and then wrapped my face in a cool towel. So it was like the two warm towels were to basically open up my pores, so they can put in the collagen treatment and the eye treatment, and you know I got that. That was my treat for myself basically. Um, my sister-in-law was going to treat me to a round of laser tag, which I opted out because I just didn't really want to play laser tag. I did enjoy the arcade for a little while. It wasn't the big arcade. It was like a smaller, like, just pass the time arcade. The bigger arcade would have been a $30 charge for an hour's worth of free art, basically free gaming in the arcade. And I opted out on that one as well because I didn't want to spend too much money. I knew between the stuff that Jerry got, my spa treatment, and purchasing the the facial and the eye lift ointments, Hey there, Diane. Glad you made it. Um, but all in all, I mean, the whole vacation was just like I didn't want it to stop. Um, Unfortunately, I have to come back to reality and do the adulting thing and work my job. Of course, we were joking about maybe you should get a job working on a cruise line and you can, work the cruise, work just about any food venue in the cruise line. And I went, yeah, they'll probably tell me to shave my beard and shave, cut my hair. And no, that's not gonna happen. But I just kind of went, yeah, sure, free trips for family or something like that. Yeah, they always do come to an end, Diane. You know what? I wouldn't say that I was exhausted. Yeah, I was tired and whatnot when we got back here to Rolla. I mean, we spent 2 days in New York visiting family, enjoyed a nice family Chinese sit down meal, and we drove back. Now, the fun about driving back was we did the same thing going up there. We stopped at the halfway point, which we figured out was Cambridge, Ohio. Um, we spent the night in a nice hotel, and on the way back, somewhere between Indianapolis and Effingham, there was a whole lot of construction on the road, on the highway, and we must have picked up not one but two nails somewhere. So getting to Effingham, our sensor said low tire, so I got out and I checked the tire. I couldn't see anything like a nail or anything like that, and filled it up with air. And then when we got into St. Louis to pick up Oreo, um, who is like a much better dog. She's less hyper. She knows commands. She follows commands. Um, she's only had one or two accidents coming home when we got home, but for the most part, she's doing well of letting us know that she needs to go outside to go potty. Um, but we picked up Oreo and we got back here to Rolla around 1:30 in the morning because of having to stop and fill up the air in the tire. Let me see what some of the let's see here. I always need a vacation after my vacation. A lot of times, yes. I didn't for some reason. I was just like I was pumped. I was happy. Everything was like really good. Did Jerry help you drive as well? You know what? To be honest with you, she drove the whole way, both directions. Because I told her, hey, anytime you feel like you need to take a break from driving, as long as it's not through a city, I'll be more than happy to, take over. Um, but yeah, um, but yeah, I called. Well, we got a hold of Geico today, um, and he came out, put enough air in the tire for me to drive it up to Walmart and get that repaired. That's how I knew I had two nails in there because they told me at Walmart that I had two nails. So you know that happens. I mean, that's the downside of long distance traveling. There's always a chance of something happening to your tires. Um, Thank you, Diane. I know, I know, and I was surprised that she. Well, I was surprised that she was going to drive, both directions because I told her, um, if you really, really need me to drive, let me know. We can pull over a rest stop or whatnot and do a Chinese fire drill. No, nothing against the Chinese people, um, but I enjoyed it. And the funny thing was is um, as we were driving home, Jerry and I started discussing our next cruise. And I said, well, you got to realize, depending on what cruise we go on to, it can cost a good $3,000 or more. And then we talked about it because I was like, well, yeah, because I'd love to go to Alaska. I'd like to go, take a cruise, um, to Iceland and maybe a plane back or something along that line. And she goes, well, let's build ourselves up, because my sister-in-law, she's been doing cruises for so long, she's built herself up to platinum. At platinum level, you can bring on a guest for free. You get discounts, you get packages, you know, all kinds of fun stuff. Um, let's see here. I'm sorry, guys. Hey Jim, it's hey Kickin. I thought the name was long time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, we went on on a cruise. We got a lot of goodies. We I'm not shocked. Her eyes are actually doing better, except for at nighttime. I do have to help her, you know, with traffic and whatnot. Make sure she doesn't get into an accident or anything like that. Um, well, that's the thing, Diane. Um, we talked about it. We talked about the possibility of saving up money, going on a low expense cruise back down to to the Caribbean. I'm gonna say the Caribbean, because they, you know, they got Bermuda, they got the Bahamas, they got, you know, St. George, which is considered part of Bermuda. Um, there was a couple times where all of us, you know, because we'd get up at a decent hour, and we'd go to breakfast, and we, you know, do whatever on on the ship while we were at sea, and we did, all of us. I mean, literally, my sister in law, her spouse, me, and Jerry all ended up taking naps. You know, at least an hour or more nap each day. You know, each day until after the Bermuda stop, and then we were just all like giddy as all get out and had all kinds of fun on the boat. Um, I think she got more tired, not because of the cancer. I think it was because Vector. We were putting in full day activities. I mean, we were going to comedy clubs. We were going to all the free venues. Um, you know, I had a colonic facial. Um, you know, we bought gifts of one form or another. In fact, the gentleman who watched Oreo while we were on vacation, um, he's got a license for grooming and basically pet care. And he's got three dogs of his own, and he did really good with Oreo. And Oreo loved playing with one of those dogs, but we got him a bottle of Hennessy. I won't drink Hennessy. I don't like rum. So, but hey, honeysuckle, um, we had fun. Did you pay for anything? Did We were going to go into the jacuzzi or the swimming pool, but um, for the most part, while we were out to sea, it was rainy. As well as one day in Bermuda, it was rainy. I got a spa treatment, so we didn't go swimming, so we didn't have to wear that. There was one day we were wearing matching outfits when we went. We got a tour bus just for the four of us to go around Bermuda, and it's funny because he was talking about, you know, the island and the history of the island and whatnot, and he stopped and plucked a couple leaves off of a plant. In fact, I've got one of those right now, and well, it's funny because when it was first plucked, we were like, "That's kind of interesting smell. What is it?" And I was the last one to sip it, and I was like, "That's clove." So this leaf came off of a plant that smells like clove. Unfortunately, it's dried out and whatnot, so it doesn't have any smell. I know that if I take a wet paper towel and put the leaf in the middle and fold it over, it will rehydrate. I've done it once before, but we had a lot of fun, and give me a second. Sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. I have two pictures. I have a buttload of pictures on my phone. Um, if you're with me on Facebook, I already put a bunch of them on there. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll try to put it on one of these videos. Um, so this picture was taken by a professional photographer with a backdrop, and that's the picture. Very beautiful picture. I thought it was great. I was wearing one of my hoodies, and she was wearing her sweater because she was a little chilly that day. And put that there. This was the best one. I thought this was the best one. This was taking, yeah. There's the restaurant we were at, and it has a little, Eiffel Tower. So I think this is a French. It was a French bistro. But this is the day we were wearing matching outfits. So, yep, that's it. We were sitting at our table, and a lady came around and asked if we wanted pictures. And of course, me and Jared were like, sure, why not? And we got the pictures taken, and I loved them. But I have on my phone, Jerry sent all her pictures from Bermuda to my phone for some reason. I have all those pictures, and I can try to do a collage or something like that. Yes, Diane, what time are you going to go live? Because I will join you. Because tonight's kind of like, feed yourself, it's up in the air. But 8:30 p.m. Okay. So that's about 2.5 hours. No big deal. But our trip was great. I mean, huh? I didn't notice any difference to Jim's face. Did you leave any tip? Of course, we left tips for our waitresses. We left tips for our cocktail people when we went out for cocktails. My sister-in-law, who has built up a very large sum of money for traveling, and this was a gift from her to my wife for Christmas, and they got me on board as well, and all I had to do was pay for like certain fees. So of course we left tips. I mean, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to be treating myself and anybody around me with dignity and respect. And one of the things I learned was the people on who worked the cruise ships, they their income, from what I understood, was not the greatest. Because this is the thing I learned when I worked in Yellowstone National Park. When you're working for like the cruise lines or the national parks or whatever, they put you up in a cabin, probably with one or three other people. You basically, out of your income comes your room and board. Basically, your cabin where you're staying, it comes out of your income. Any food and whatnot you eat comes out of your income. So of course I was going to tip these people. I have heard the cruise staff. Yes, on Norwegian, the cruise staff were amazing. I mean, granted, the first night we went out, the first night out to sea when we went for dinner, everything got knocked backwards because of the boat was late due to weather. But the first night we went to sit down to eat, I looked at our waitress, and I'm like, so, and I was talking to my family, and I saw her I saw colors that was on her badge from the corner of my eye, and I looked and I was like, "So you're from the Philippines?" And she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "I was born there." So it was like most of our wait staff and service staff that we dealt with at the restaurants were all from the Philippines. Some of them some of them were from even Thailand, and we had a couple people from Britain and South Africa and South America and all different places almost around the world. So they had an international staff, and I'm fairly sure that they put the Filipino people together so they can communicate in their language, Tagalog. So it was like, yay. Um, um, I am in the real world. Um, Actually, Jerry was not going to ask for help at the buffet. One of the crew members of the ship basically came over and asked her if she needed help, and of course, um, she didn't really need that much help because I was standing behind her. Basically, she'd take a plate, put food on it, and I would take it from her so I can carry it, and then went back for my own food because I was looking while she was going around getting what she wanted, and I was looking around going, okay, I want that, I want some of that. And we only went to the buffet once. I went to the buffet by myself one day while they were off doing their own thing. And it was also one of those days that I told Jerry I wanted to take some time to be with myself, by myself, so I can do some work on the American Cozy book. Um, did the house? No, no, the housekeeper for the boat did not make animals with towels, even though they say sometimes they do. Um, it is a cute touch. For the most part, Diane, she used her scooter unless we were in our stateroom. Our stateroom was huge because it was handicapped accessible for my wife and my sister in law. Um, no, I didn't eat crab legs. Um, Basically, the bathroom was like one of those. You can walk in. They had a bench shower chair that came off the wall, folded down. Big bathroom. They had floor drains around the shower area. Um, it was a four-person room. So my sister-in-law, her spouse, and Jerry all had floor-level beds. I climbed up into the bunk every night, which I thought was great. And I tell you what, the first time I got into that bunk, I was like, "Oh, this is nice and comfortable." And I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, I'm like mesmerized because the way I was laying, like mine was up against the wall while everybody else was floor level like this. So I'm up here and I'm getting this gentle rocking motion on the way there, and I was just like, I'm out. But we had so much time. Um, Jerry has never done any DIYs with towels or napkins that I know of, or I can remember. Um, hey, Mary. Um, JP, nice to see you. Or JHP. I keep on forgetting the H. Um, I had a very good time. I mean, there was so many days out of our 7 days that I would sit there and go, okay, we'll go to breakfast together, then we'll separate, we'll meet together at a certain time at a certain location for lunch, and then maybe I'd hang out with them for a little while we saw shows or did shopping. Um, that kind of thing. And Arlene Mock, since you don't really know what you're talking about, Another stupid question is going to get you removed because no, this was not a trip on government money. This was money that my in laws earned working their asses off and then getting sick. My I'm not even going to talk about my in-laws because you don't need to know their medical history. Um, so you um, I had a very good time. I mean, Jerry had a good time. She allowed me to go off and do my own thing while she was spending time visiting with her sister because she hasn't seen her sister in, oh, I don't know, 6 years. No, not 6 years. She was here for her 50th birthday, so almost 2 years. Um, but we had a good time. Our dog was so happy to see us. We left our dog with a friend of ours who lives in St. Louis, and basically he's the brother of my wife's health caretaker, whatever you want to call her. But she's so calm. She's much calmer than she was. She's more disciplined. She listens to me especially because I've got that tone, that voice. But we're all happy. Um, thanks, JHP. Um, my money, I work my ass off for, so I get my money from my own income. Jerry gets medical assistance because she has cancer. And that's it. We don't get anything more than the government will allow us to have. Um, no, my mom did not watch the dog. Like I just said, the dog was with a friend in St. Louis who was able to work with the dog, get her disciplined, get her calmed down, trim her nails properly. When we picked her up, she was like a brand new dog. She's happy as all get out to see us, but she was just a brand new dog. Um, I almost kind of went, this can't be my dog. She's too subtle. Um, um, that's when I was confused with stage 4 cancer, how she can make plans for another. Well, I, I'll be honest with Diane. Um, Her stage 4 at this point in time is in, it's not really in remission. She still suffers from the pain, but she's got an appointment this coming week to go. Her friend Lisa's going to drive her into St. Louis and get a scan to see what's going on and hope everything is still where it is now, that it's in weakened management with pain medication and whatnot. And if we do plan another cruise, one, it probably won't be for another year or two, and two, we have to monitor what's going on because if things get worse, we may not be able to go on an actual cruise. Um, so it's one of those things where it's like we're watching her health, we're watching my health, we're dealing with the doctors, we're talking to the doctors, we're making tentative plans. We talked about the possibility of going on cruises in the future. We just don't know because we have to deal with the doctors and the medical procedure and all that stuff. So, any future plans for a cruise may or may not happen. Right now, we're hoping it does because we would love to go on another cruise. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll just roll with the punches. What my oh my. JP is not, or JHP1 is not playing the nice card. She's been really nice lately. I've had a lot of discussions with them, her and Diane, on their channel, their integrated channel, and I'm not seeing anything wrong. Um, so my favorite food, wow. Ooh, I'm gonna have to say the shrimp Alfredo with mushrooms because I had that literally 5 nights in a row. They also had the most perfect. They had the best tiramisu I've had since I was in New York last. Probably even better than New York. Um, well, Diane, like I said, we're watching it. We're working with the doctors, and if they say it's a no go, she's actually getting ready. She's going to go to St. Louis next week for a scan. She's going to talk with her main doctor here in Rolla to see what he actually says. And she is probably most likely, because she said she wants to go back on treatment. She wants to go back on treatment so she can, hopefully keep the cancer in check. Um, um, is Jerry going to continue vlogging? She says she wants to. Um, she says she wants to get back to it, but she doesn't know right now because um, we're going through a process of trying to work with the doctors, get her better, and make sure nothing goes wrong. She has been off her radiation treatment for a couple months, and everything looks like it's a-okay. But I think between the trip, not the cruise, because the cruise was nice and gentle, but the trip back here to Rolla was jarring because they did every time we go east or even west through Indiana, there always road construction of one form or another, and the roads weren't exactly smooth or nice to her. So last night she was in pain for most of the day. She's been taking her medications and whatnot to keep that under control, but um, she's got a bunch of doctor's appointments within the next 2 weeks or so, while Lisa's still in town. Um, so we're just trying to work with it and watch it. Um, but as for her vlog, she did say she wanted to, but I'm not sure. I think it really depends on her and how she feels. Um, Hold on. I'm just trying to catch up on some of your questions. The government had no. I'm not going to answer that question, Mock. That's none of your information. It's not important to this conversation, nor to your information. That's between Mom, me, Jerry, and whomever. Um, all right, you're done. I said I was not going to. I'm not going to deal with this shenanigans. Um, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to put up with the people who want to cause trouble. Let's see here. We do have goals and dreams. I mean, right now, um, we have a couple different dreams or goals in the fire to save most. Um, right now, I think what we're going to be working on mostly is finish cleaning and decluttering and what is called a Swedish death purge. It's not because she's dying, it's just because we realize we've got too much stuff that we don't need, and she would rather have it already sent out to the family so they can deal with it, and I won't have as much to deal with when she does pass. Um, uh, Well, to be honest with you, Honeysuckle, people just want to be an ass. There's always somebody who wants to be an ass and ruin it for everybody else, and I'm ignoring it and getting rid of them. That's why I've got my tablet in front of me so I can see that and just say bye bye. Um, Sorry, my ear itches. Ever since I gotten back to Missouri, my allergies, my sinuses, my dry skin in my ears, and just all the fun allergy stuff has hit me hard. Um, let's see here, where are we? I tell you what, that trip was what the doctor ordered. I mean, I've come back relaxed. I've come back determined to have things a certain way. I've come back determined to work with Jerry, not for Jerry, to get things situated around the house. Um, Jerry Ann and I are working open communication, the whole 9 yards, to be on the same page so we understand what each person wants and see if we can find a happy medium or something like that. And I'm kind of grateful for the time I had to myself on the ship. I'm happy with the time we had together on the ship. Um, so it's one of those. The only thing I'm afraid of biting me and Jerry in the butt is we did both partake in wine with our dinners, and every so often hanging out with her sister, having a couple cocktails. Nothing like overbearing. We didn't get strong. We didn't get drunk. We didn't get sloshed. We had a glass or two of wine during dinner, and then a cocktail or two at cocktail. Unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about my sister-in-law because I love her very much, but that's their business. It's not my business. It's not your all's business. Um, let's see here. I think you should go to the doctor with her. I plan on it. If I can get the time off. In fact, she put a bunch of dates on our shared digital calendar, so I have to look at those dates and see if I have to take them off, or even if I don't have to, because Lisa will drive. Um, I'm gonna go with just so I can hear what the doctor says, put in my 2 cents worth, and know exactly what's going on without her forgetting everything or anything like that. So yeah, I am planning on going to the doctor with her. Um, um, her last radiation treatment, I think she did ring the bell. We're hoping that she doesn't have to go back on radiation treatment. All she has to deal with is the chemo. Because we think between the radiation and the chemo was what was causing her back scars. So I'm just hoping we don't have to deal with chemo. Um, well, um, we basically drove from New York to 8 hours, which landed us in um, Cambridge, Ohio, and then it would have been 8 hours from Cambridge to New York, but due to the tire getting damaged and whatnot and having two nails in it, that made us kept every so many miles, every I don't know how many miles, because I didn't track it, but we had to stop at least 3 different times to air up the tire, and then we had to stop in St. Louis to pick up Oreo, and then finish the last 2 hours worth of driving into Rolla. And we got to Rolla Thursday night, and then Friday, on our way home, I looked at my job's scheduling, and they had an opening from 1 to 10 p.m. Friday. And if I did not take that, it would have looked like I did not work for almost 2.5 weeks or more. So I ended up going to work last night. Well, what happened was I got up and I was ready. And I walked out of the car and the left rear tire was totally flat. And I went, oh, I'll have to deal with that tomorrow. Borrowed Lisa's car to get myself to and from work. And then got home, settled down, relaxed, went to bed. Woke up actually fairly early. My alarm went off. I had one alarm set for 9:30 and one alarm for 10 o'clock. Well, the 9:30 alarm went off. I thought I had turned it off because Jerry said I'd just get up at 10. But my alarm went off, and I got up and went. You know what? I feel energized. I'm gonna start doing stuff. And um, well, I ended up going to. I got the Geico people to come and air out my tire, and then I took it to Walmart to have it checked, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you have two nails in your the tire that you were talking to us about. Your rear suspension system needs to be recalibrated." And I was like, "Can you recalibrate it?" They're like, "No, you need to take your car um, to the dealership to have them do it because it takes special equipment and whatnot to do the rear wheel alignment." And I was like, "Okay." So I've got to try to take it easy. I got to call them up and see what date. And I don't know if I want to wait till Friday because I don't want to mess up my car anymore. But I don't. It's either going to have to be early in the morning or I'm going to have to get Lisa to pick me up at the dealership and bring me home or whatever. But let's see here. Um, okay, you just went to bye bye. I'm not going to listen to somebody badmouth anybody on my channel, especially if they're going to be the instigator. Don't Diane, don't worry about that person. I've already removed him. Yeah, we don't need the drama, folks. I am trying to be as drama free as possible. If you don't want to be drama free, you can just turn around and leave my room, my chat. Yeah, I know you guys are trying to keep the peace. That's why I'm deleting a bunch of stuff. Hey, Marguerite, you missed the whole chat about the ship and the vacation. I feel great and I feel relaxed and I'm going to be working my best to keep myself this way because I mean one of the things I got time to do on the ship when I was by myself is to sit back and just think and meditate on life. And granted, it was great to be on that ship. It was great to be served 24/7. It was great to, not have to worry about cleaning up after myself. Um, Room service took care of the room. The rest of the things we did on the ship, the crew members on the ship did a wonderful job of, you know, taking care of us, which is basically their job. But I got time to, because I took it with me. I got time to look through the American Cozy because me and Jerry have decided that we're gonna do we're gonna do several things in the house. One of them is to do the Swedish death purge, which basically what it is, you go through all your belongings and decide what to keep, what not to keep, give it away, send it off to family, whatever. Um, the other thing is to take the information that I've been looking at through the American Cozy and implement it in our lives. I mean, literally go, okay, this is what we're going to do, room by room. This is the kitchen. We need to clean up the kitchen. We need to straighten up the kitchen. We need to take all the things that we don't need and get rid of it. The things that we need that we use every so often, go ahead and keep it. Most of the most of the gadgetry that mom uses when we're gone to feed herself is usually in a cabinet, out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. When we left, she pulled it out, like her Fry Daddy, her rocket grill, and there was something else I can't remember what it is without going out there. But these are all things that mom uses that she can use to cook for herself without having to stand at the stove and wait. She can put it in her Fry Daddy, set a timer. She can put it in the rocket grill, set the timer, go sit down, wait for it to bing, come out here and do whatever it is she needs to do and eat an actual proper meal. Um, Lisa was here to help out. Sorry, my ear is very itchy, and it's mostly allergies. Um, but I'm like, put it this way: after this video, in between the time I get done with this video and Diane's live, I'm gonna be sitting down with Jerry and Mom and go, okay, let's plan out meals. Let's plan out how we're gonna attack the chores and the tasks and doing all the stuff. I'll bring out my book and my notes and talk to them about it and just, hash it out, see what we can do. I know Mom will probably be on board because she's been wanting to clean up the house. But I'll tell you what, when we came home, the house was just spectacular. The kitchen was cleaned up and nice and beautiful. The living room was nice and beautiful. I mean, um, we were gone, and they, Mom, Lisa, Mom's helper, friend, whatever, came along and just, I mean, banged it out. Made all the common rooms look good. Now there are some things in the dining area of the kitchen that still needs our put it away type stuff. Of course, now that we're unpacking from our trip, it doesn't look like a total disaster, but it looks like it's just like, okay, we need to go through the stuff and put it away and deal with it and da 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 da. So I'm just like, you know, granted, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to be active in the house because I just kind of go, I really don't feel like it. But like this room has one vent. It should have two. The windows in this room are old and cracked and just let all the heat in. Even though I've got blackout curtains, I still feel the heat. So it's just things. There were a lot of activities on the ship, Brenda. I mean, they had a casino area, they had a library where you can go in there and borrow books or sit there and read your book or play like checkers or backgammon or mahjong or card games and board games. And then there was my wife, her sister, and her sister's spouse. They went and watched Footloose, the live production of Footloose. The four, me, her sister Janie, and Jerry went and watched Elements, which was a near or close to being a Cirque du Soleil type show, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I got to go play in a small arcade. In fact, I'm going to show you something here in a moment and explain it to you. But it was just one of those things where it's like, oh man, I'm enjoying myself. I was enjoying myself. I had some drinks. I wasn't getting drunk. I just had a couple of glasses of Riesling with dinner, and went out with Jerry and her sister to one of the local bar liquor establishments and had some cocktails. But me and Jerry didn't drink a lot, so we were good. We were happy, but we weren't like stumbling or slurring our words or anything like that. We just got that nice little buzz. Um, I do take care of Jerry when I'm home. I mean, I just little things. Like I'll make dinner for everybody, and I'll serve her a plate of dinner. Things that she can't do, like bending. But I'm not I'm sitting back going, if you can do it yourself, please do it. I know you're hurting. We just spent a week or a week and a half. No, more, close to 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, where I just kind of went, okay, we've had a nice vacation. I understand it's going to take you a couple of days to recoup because you're going to be sore from the bumpy ride in the car. Um, not sleeping on our own bed, things like that. But I'm just like, but unless it's something you can get up and do, please do it yourself because I'm almost in the same. The only difference between me and Jerry when it comes to our health is I don't have cancer. It's that time of year where I have my allergies. I have my um, I have a lot of things that are going on this time of year because of my allergies. It causes throat issues from postnasal drip, sinus clogs. The um, pain that comes in around your eyes. Um, plus my aches and pains from joint and muscle. Muscle overusage is what I'm gonna say. But we did have a very good time on our ship. On our Yeah, I kind of was worried about her drinking with stage 4, um, but she did not have a lot to drink. She had maybe a glass or two here and there of Riesling, like once or twice, and then um, one or two cocktails. Um, so I'm just like, I don't approve of it, but she was more doing it just to hang with her sister, which is like, don't let anybody press you in having alcohol. You don't really need it. Let's see here. Yeah, I know, I know. Sometimes I can get her to do stuff. Some things she just, but I want one. I want a drink, and I'm like, okay, well, your drug to your medicine to alcohol ratio. Of course, I also blame myself for some of the drinking because I was not supposed to drink because I do have one morning pill, or not morning, excuse me, one night pill that says do not consume alcohol with this pill. But like I said, I did not consume a lot either. Um, yeah, I'm going when I go with her to see the doctor. I'm gonna ask her, the doctor, um, is she still considered stage 4 or what is her stage? Um, Diane, I would love to bring her on to a live with you and J JHP, um, but I know she won't. She won't. She just, no matter what I tell her, she is adamant saying that um, she doesn't want to deal with you guys. I don't know why. She'll deal with her regular crowd that supports her, but like her sister and I said, truth hurts, but you got to listen to the truth, no matter what the degree of the truth is. Um, Thanks. I tell you what. I mean, granted, I worked last night out of necessity. Um, Not because I wanted to get away from Jerry, but out of necessity for our finances. But I'm like, I want to do so much, but I don't know where to start. So the plan basically is to sit down with Mom and Jerry and talk and work out a daily/weekend or weekly battle plan to get this house in shape. More than it is now, because I tell you, it's really good. Um, um, Cooper's Queen. I have lived in Indiana, and if you were on Interstate 90, which leads, yeah, yeah, we had to deal with that. Cooper, Coopers, or was it no Coopers? Okay, I almost said Coppers, but no. Um, um, Cruises are nice. They force you to relax. You know what? I didn't feel forced to relax. I just kind of fell into a just. I mean, I think between when we left New York and when we got to Bermuda, it was kind of rainy, not rough seas, not hardcore rain, but it was rainy. I think between the gentle rocking of the boat and the position I had to lay in, or my bed was, and then just the gentle sounds of the waves that I can hear through the echo of the ship or the window, because we were like on the fifth floor of the boat, and anything below us was like crew quarters and mechanics, as well as the entry exit to get on the shore into Bermuda. And thank God, all I needed was my birth certificate and my ID, my state ID, to get on and off the boat. But I loved it. Um, so let's see what we got here. I'm so glad you finally got to. Oh man, I relaxed. My put it this way, I relaxed so much that I not only do I feel refreshed and revived and revitalized, but I'm just like, if I can do everything my way without worrying about Jerry and her input, I would have started cleaning this house and redoing this house, and working with this book at 9:30 in the morning when I woke up. And the funny thing is I had a 9:45 alarm and a 10 o'clock alarm, and I was awake but not out of bed by 9:45. And when the alarm went off at 9:45, I shut it off and just laid there thinking, wait a minute, why is the alarm going off? But I ended up getting up out of bed before the 10 o'clock alarm and left Jerry in bed. Brung Oreo out, who's a totally different dog. The friends that we left the dog with, she got potty trained, disciplined, and she is a totally different dog, more calm, not so rambunctious, except for maybe when you first come home and she's like, "Daddy, daddy, 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 daddy." But I just, I'm like, I want to go back on. I want to go for another cruise next year, but I don't think I'll have the money, and we don't know what's going to go on with Jerry Ann. So we'll let the doctors diagnose her and tell her she can go on another cruise. But it might not even be next year. It might be like 2025. You know, but it, I loved it. They are, yeah, they are very awesome. If you can afford some of their packages, which are extra, like let's say you like to drink, you basically buy the alcohol package, so you get basically discounts on your alcohol. Um, if you like to shop, they've got shops. They got some premium shops. I almost bought a bottle of Johnny Walker Red, but it was like $200 for the bottle, and I went, no, I ain't paying that much for alcohol when I can get it cheaper at home if I want it. But I'm also glad I didn't buy it, not just because of the cost, but I found that you don't get the bottle that you buy on ship until the night before or the day that you you dock in your return spot, basically, when we got back to New York, because we did buy a bottle of Hennessy for the gentleman and his girlfriend that helped. Didn't help. They basically housed and took care of Oreo, and they had three pit bulls, which were calm and loving and just. But Oreo became friendly, and one of his dogs was like her favorite playmate. His name was Snoopy. But seriously, why not? Okay, I'm not. Um, sorry, I'm just like. Um, yeah, Jerry doesn't smoke, thank God. We didn't drink much bourbon. We just had a little bit to enjoy the environment. But it did not seem to have any ill side effects on Jerry. Um, yeah, this was our first trip. I'm hoping to go another time. It's like once you get you once. I mean, I'm seriously saying this from a newbie. Once you get on that boat, you get settled in your cabin and you start enjoying the cruise environment and just settle down and relax and enjoy the services that you're permitted to have or bought into, whether it's a soda package, a liquor package, there's all kinds of different packages, entertainment packages. I mean, I just loved it. I'm not starting trouble. I'm Team Jim. We all know that. But I have to say, it's very weird to see the other sides in here. I can. It's a change for sure. Well, Beverly, some of the people who are being schnotz, because I'm not sure what you mean by other side, but I like the factor that last night during one of my breaks I was able to jump on Diane's live, and or was it Diane or JHP? They had a live last night. I jumped on for a few minutes and texted them. Um, then, like a few minutes later, I got off work because everything was done and it was dead, and the boss said go home. So I went home and I got to chat with him a little bit more, or listen to him while I was driving home. So glad you got to do. Oh yeah, I had some fun. Um, you even look younger. Thanks. Yes, take another cruise. So as soon as you and Jay can, we both want to. We enjoyed it too much. Um, Jim was on our. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Um, we're just returning the favor. Hey, I love it. I mean, we're all being good people. We're being calm, cool, collective. For the most part, all of us are being good to each other. There's no nasty little buggers because I've already sent them away. Jim, did you get to? I tried to do a vlog, but for some reason, YouTube is not letting me put it on. Probably because I was on the cruise boat, and there might have been something that the ship basically made impossible to actually put the vlog online. If I can, I will. If I can't, I'm sorry. I'll just try to talk about it here on. Well, we are talking about it, so I won't have to make another one. Um, Beverly, I knew what you were talking about. Stage 4 drinking with kidney cancer, perhaps, James. She hasn't been honest. I don't know, Diane. I only know what I've heard and um, some of the paperwork I read. But I'm hoping when we go to see her actual surgeon in St. Louis, and get those scans, and then come back here and talk to her primary. What he called himself the quarterback of her cancer situation. I'm hoping that they say, okay, we don't need to do radiation. We just need to get back on chemo. Um, I'm just hoping she didn't do any damage. But like I said, she drank lightly. She didn't drink heavily. But I understand what you mean, Diane. I really do. I've questioned her a couple times. Do they have mocktails available, Jim? Yes, yes. She had several different what are known as virgin drinks because there's no alcohol. It's just fruit juice and soda. Um, okay, that's okay, Jim. I love to have you. I love being on. I mean, I really love getting to talk to you guys, heart to heart. Um, I try not to talk that much about Jerry because sometimes my information gets a little foggy because I do have my memory issues. My yeah, like I said, my memory issues are thankfully not as bad as Jerry's because, as the doctor actually said to us, brain fog due to her cancer because of the medication is a real thing. And I was like, okay. Hi Dee, how you doing? I probably said that wrong. Debbie Savings. Sorry if I'm reacting to your comments a little late because I had to back it up and now I'm just trying to catch up. Okay, Diane, I'll see you later. Um, let's see here. Jim and Jerry, I have some wonderful news. My husband and I are expecting a baby girl. Oh, Margaret, you need to text that to Jerry. She'll love that. I probably didn't catch Diane when she was leaving. Sorry. Ah, excuse me. That took a long time to find. Oh, yeah. All right, I'm just gonna jump ahead real far, all the way. So I'm sorry if I'm jumping over some of your questions. Um, but yeah, our trip was great. I am planning on going to her with her appointments. Um, Lisa is leaving us in about 2 weeks. She is moving in with a friend of hers um, down in Vegas. Yep. Oh no, I'm losing beard hairs. That's not right. Um, but yeah, that's what the doctor was telling us. Chemo and brain fog are a thing. But before I go, because I don't know, I'm at 73 minutes, so I'm a little over what I normally do. I want to show you a few things. One of the things I want to show you is my sister-in-law got me this lanyard. It says Dungeons and Dragons on it, so I can carry my ship key card. This key card, and they let me keep it. They didn't take it from me. Basically, this key card was my key to everything on the boat. My key to get into my room, my key to buy stuff. Just it was basically keep it on you at all times, so you can purchase items or get back into your room or things like that. And I was like, oh wow, and they let me keep it. They didn't even try to take it from me because I gave it to them. Because as you're checking out, they want to scan your card and whatnot to, I guess, keep count of how many people went on in New York and are coming back off in New York. And they didn't take it. They just handed it back to me and went, "Oh, okay." Put it back in my lanyard. But something we haven't done in a long time because we don't always get to a five below. And I know some of you are going to be going, yes, it was Norwegian. It was actually, the boat was called Norwegian Joy. And it was a brand new boat. Um, Um, we decided to do a Five Below, some purchases at Five Below in New York. One, we haven't gone there in a long time. Two, Jerry wanted to get some stuff for the puppy. You don't let me go into Five Below by myself. Five Below is like my Dollar Tree. So of course I went in and got all the stuff that Jerry purchased, picked up an online purchase that she had, and I got myself stuff. Now, one thing, I got two of them that is an absolute, anybody who uses earbuds, I tell you to get this, I'm going to tell you to get this because I used it to clean my wife Jerry Ann's earbuds with her earbud cleaner, and it was awesome. It cleaned the earbud, it cleaned inside the rubber thingy, it cleaned in there, it cleaned around the metal connectors, it cleaned inside where you put the earbuds to get charged. But I'm going to show you the front because the price tag is, oh, the price tag is not bad. I mean, not too bad. I mean, $4 for a 3-in-1 earbud cleaner. Now, I'm going to take this in the bedroom tonight to clean the crap out of mine because it is, there, it's needed. But I also got myself actually I got this on the Norwegian cruise liner. It is a Kinder Supermax. And I cracked it open and ate some of the chocolate, gave some to Jerry. And inside there, now anybody who knows what a Kinder egg is knows that there's a little toy. Here in America, we don't sell the eggs. We only sell the Kinder Bruno, or whatever it's called, because there's been too many children who have, here in America especially, who have put it in their mouth and swallowed it and had to be rushed to the hospital. So that knocked out the Kinder Egg. I'm hoping the Kinder Max because it's a little bit bigger. But inside of it was basically a kangaroo. It came into 4 parts. The tail, which actually moves, the top, which actually moves, and the 2 side pieces. So I snapped it all together and went, oh, that's cute. Of course, Oreo was like, what is this? And tried to chomp on it. I'm like, nope, that goes in my office where you can't bite it. But I'm going to look at that thing and remind myself every time I see it is to hop to it. Get to it. Get to work. Get your house clean. Do the things you need to do. And then, of course, they kind of melted, but two whatchamacallits, kind of misshapen because they melted. I got myself the pineapple gummy bears and watermelon gummy bears. I love these things. I had them. I got to eat gummy bears all I wanted for 3 years in Germany, and I'm like, yay! I also got some now and laters. If you don't know what they are, they're little blocks, little squares of toffee. And this is banana flavor, which is one of my favorites, and of course, watermelon. The other thing I got, and that this isn't, I've got a couple more items. I got Pocky, and anybody who's ever ate Pocky knows what Pocky is, knows that this is delicious. This is banana flavored. I got 2 of these for myself. I got a chocolate one for Mom or Lisa, and then this one's definitely Mom's because it is basically strawberry. Well, I came back after the car, told Jerry about it, and Jerry was like, well, Mom just got a big old bag of that. And I'm like, why don't you get another box? Then one of the things I like going to, oh, this is slightly bent, hopefully it's not broken, is Five Below has incense. This is supposed to be the smell of after rainstorms, and I love this smell. That's why I got it, because I can't find it around here. It's always frankincense or something like that. Yeah, just that's this whole bag is nothing but pineapple. So it's like, yeah, I don't have to dig around for the pineapple. The last thing I got, because I know some people get upset, but I don't practice. Norse paganism or anything like that. I just, because of my yeah, that's right, JH. You're I can't remember if you said German or Swedish. I don't remember. I'm sorry, but because I do have a heart for my people and my ancestry. I got a keychain that is a symbol of Tyr. Now, if you flip it over, it tells you. It tells you warrior. So I'm gonna put this on my keychain. Excuse me, my nose itches. And I mean, that's everything I got. Now everything else that was bought was mostly for the dog. You know, dog treats, toys, things like that. German American. Okay, yeah. Okay, JP is from Germany. Okay, I knew the accent had to be German or somewhere in that area, some form of Germanic. um, but I mean, granted, that was like a once in a blue moon shopping. And yeah, between all the stuff that I got for myself and all the stuff that we got for the dog, it came out to a pretty penny. I'm not going to tell you the exact amount, but it was under $100, over 50. So, um, JP, or JHP, I'm sorry, German and Swedish. Okay, um, Swede, Sweden. Yeah. Um, I have to pull out. I have several German recipes, and the one that I have especially is sauerbraten. I've got like 3 different versions of sauerbraten. I think one day when I have the day off, I'm going to have to pull that book out and make some sauerbraten, and that will last for meals for the week. Because that's one of the things we want to do is do meal preps. Did I get bagels and Chinese? We had egg bagel sandwiches, like eggy sandwiches, basically what they're called. Um, and we went out to dinner with all my in-laws for Chinese. So I um I did have my fill of bagels and Chinese. I totally and utterly well, it was a combination of I didn't have a big cooler with me because I didn't have enough room, so I didn't have any containers or containment system to keep the Chinese food or the bagels would keep fresh in. So I didn't bring any home, or yeah, I didn't bring any home. And when you're driving 8 hours a day with an overnight stay, um, the food without being in proper containers, like a hot bag for the hot food and a cold bag or a cold whatever for the bagels and whatnot. I didn't want to risk getting coming home with spoiled food that either I had to throw away or I ate and got sick off of. But I ate plenty while I was down there. Great Swedish recipe in the smallest book in the world. Oh, that sounds interesting. Um, yeah, dang, no Chinese food home because I mean I don't know what it is. Everybody says it. It's something to do with the water in New York, and if Diane was still on, she would agree with me. But it's one of those things where I kind of go, I don't want to live here, but how do I get the food back to Missouri? And the main reason for not wanting to live there, of course, if Jerry and I could have found jobs or afford to live upstate out of the city, um, I would have done that. Because I've been to upstate New York, and there are some nice cities in upstate New York. I don't want to go as far as Buffalo, but I think like the middle section of New York, you know, But the thing is, even upstate New York is pricey. But of course, their jobs are probably they probably pay enough for you to afford to live. Um, but I'm just like I'm happy. Oh, I forgot the one last thing I was going to show you. I almost forgot the last thing. I'm glad I looked over there. Um, yeah, everybody swears it's the water of New York. Something about the water of New York. Um, I have not gotten to Chicago. I keep on saying that I want to go to Chicago because I have a cousin up there. Um, the only I don't say an issue. I think it's not that I don't want to go up there and see her and meet her because I don't remember if we've ever met face to face. We probably did at one point in time, but forgot about it. But my cousin Pam lives up there, and I just kind of want to go up there. Swedish Meatballs Love 5. That's an interesting name. But anyhow, holy crap, I'm probably close to an hour and a half. Let me show you this last item I got myself. I got this two reasons. One, he's my favorite Marvel character, and two, it just looked really great. If I knew that there was a glow in the dark one, I probably would have gotten it, but I didn't see the number. But Thor, come on. I mean, you guys know if I see a Thor bobblehead, I'm most likely going to buy it if it's not that expensive. And it wasn't. It wasn't. Actually, I think he was on clearance. But yeah, come on. Guy like me walk past Thor and not pick it up and think about buying it. I mean, I've seen the ones in Walmart and kind of like, they don't look right to me. But that's just me. And the thing is I was looking at this and Jan and I both realized, oh, this is Thor after he got the beer belly. You know, so he's like the in games series. So it's one of those fun things. Um, yeah, when we got bagel sandwiches for breakfast, it was like, what kind of bagel you want? I'm like, is there really a kind? I mean, just. And I finally went, you know what? If you're going to get me a bagel sandwich, give me the everything bagel. The everything bagel. And I found out something about the everything bagel. The everything bagel is basically made the day after. So what they do is the day after they clean their displays and racks and whatnot for the night, they take all the crumbs, all the onion that fell off the onion bagel, all the sesame that fell off the sesame bagel, all the poppy that fell off the poppy bagel. Basically, all the things that fell off the other bagels fall in this tray, this catch tray. And they take the catch tray out at night. Instead of dumping it in the garbage, because it's still edible food, they pour it in their sprinkle jars. So the next day they go to make bagels, they can take all these bits and pieces that fell from the other bagels, sprinkle it on the everything bagel, cook it, serve it. And I'm like, but my two favorite bagels is either the everything bagel or the onion bagel. I wish they'd come out with like a garlic and onion bagel. That would be nah. This boy would get a lot fatter. I have been looking out for trolls, and I have actually gotten rid of a couple of them, so I'm not having any more problems with them. But the every I don't know what it is about the everything bagel, because I mean you get like the new onion flavor, and then actually I think they do have garlic, but you get all the different flavors but sharper than just the regular onion bagel. But it's like I love it. Um, the bagels around here are like Thomas's bagels, you know. So every so often I get myself a bag of cinnamon swirl bagel, or during the holiday season they come out with pumpkin bagels. It's like pumpkin bagel with blueberry cream cheese spread. mm. um, Yeah, I'm sorry, Pam, and I'm actually about ready to get off because I've been on here for almost an hour and a half to 2 hours. Um, yeah, Pam, you'll have to go back and watch. I'm sorry, hon. I really do need to get off because I need to make dinner and figure out what's going on and all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna bid you guys a farewell. Those of you who might be on Diane and JHP's live later on tonight, we'll see each other again, or at least you'll hear my voice. Maybe, I don't know. But Pam, I am so sorry you came in late. I kind of did this. I planned on doing it, but I forgot to tell anybody when because I didn't know when, and so my start time was. Oh, see you guys Sunday. Okay. Um, Ooh, I might be at work at Sunday because I work 4 to 10 on Sundays. But I'll see what I can do during my break. But I'm gonna let you guys go, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Um, I will be going back and doing vlogs, probably daily vlogs. I want to rebuild my channel and rebuild my revenue so I have good money from not only my regular job but this, which I consider I don't consider this job. I actually consider this fun time. Um, but I will bid you guys a farewell and see you around later tonight, tomorrow, who knows. Bye. I'm looking at the wrong thing.